What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. I've got a ton of updates for you guys today, especially some exciting ones around some airdrops that we can go ahead and collect. Let's get into it, but before we do, always remember I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before you make any decision. I'm just a guy on YouTube. As a reminder, we do have a private group. So if you're interested in getting some extra coaching, guidance, and support, we got the Web3 Secret Society. Check that out in the description below. So, first off, Wormhole gave us a W today, letting us know that next Wednesday we will finally be able to collect our Wormhole airdrop. Now, one thing that is very clear to me is that I have been selling these very pretty much earlier than I should. So I have a very different strategy this time around that I'm going to talk about. But as a quick reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you check your eligibility at airdrop.wormhole.com. I put the links to everything in the description below. Check every single wallet because while Wormhole did cluster your wallets, they've split the allocation among multiple wallets. So even if you got 5 wallets that you think are connected, they have split the airdrop allocation accordingly. Just check because you've got nothing to lose, so much to gain. And right now, the Wormhole token is trading for $1.76 in the pre-market stages on Hyperliquid. These prices tend to always be much lower than what we see come to fruition. So going back to what I've noticed, and this is sort of something that I've seen happen a couple times with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions where it doesn't. And that is that typically you'll see airdrop farmers completely get out of their position. They call it JEET. And basically, by doing so, they massively crash the price in the first few moments after the token launches. But those who are patient and wait a couple days, you'll start to see the token price rebound. So what I venture to say is I think a lot of people either, sell into the pressure early on and then wait for it to dip a ton and buy it up. So my plan this time, because I expect Wormhole to follow a very similar playbook, is for it to dump. I am going to probably put up to 5 figures into the Wormhole token and then ride it up. So I'm going to watch it come down and then ride it up. Now, if that doesn't happen and the price doesn't crash, great. I got my airdrop and I'll wait for it to go a little higher before I get rid of it. I know a lot of people are talking about parlaying this into like the Nomad airdrop and others, but in my opinion, for example, like Wormhole's great. I just don't like holding these kind of tokens long term. So that's where I stand, and I think I could do way better, trading that for like Solana, for example. The next claim is the Polyhedra claim on Merkley. Ironically, when we posted this in the private group yesterday, what had happened was some people actually found they got more from Merkley in ZK token than from Polyhedra themselves. What's also really neat is you can get this on BNB. So when you go in and claim, make sure your VPN is on. And when your VPN is on, you'll sort of see this page where you hit an OK button to say you accept the terms and conditions. You can autofill from MetaMask, or you can just type in your wallet address, click check, and it'll let you know how many tokens are available for you to collect. In this case, I got 15.6 tokens. I hit the claim button, gave it to me. I swapped it directly into BNB and called it good. And by the way, Veer, sucks to hear that they haven't mentioned about the forum, but I would recommend that you talk to them in Discord, talk to a moderator. And we're going to talk a bit about, this entire issue after. The next one is not so much a claim, but it is an airdrop registration. As you guys know, probably one of the most common questions I get asked on this channel is around who do you validate with? And I pretty much always say that I go with PRYZM. PRYZM is pretty much, what I always start with. So here's an example of dimension. You see I've got more dimension in PRYZM here. Cosmos not anymore because I told you guys I would unstake it. Is that still going on? So that's one thing. Oh, sorry, I didn't even have to unstake it because I pulled it through. Celestia is more of the same thing. I've got PRYZM 78 here. So basically, I'm earning PRYZM token, and I waited for their website to be a little more stable. So yesterday when it came out, I tested it. People were asking in the private group why I wasn't sort of sharing that yet. I said, it's not worth going on yet. But finally today, I think it's gotten a little better, still not good enough, but hey, I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. My recommendation is you go in here and register every single wallet that you have. I know some of you have many wallets. So make sure you go ahead and do it for every single one of them and type in your PRYZM address. You can find this, if your wallet is connected, you click on fill with K. But, I think it's sort of, I think it's pretty good. So I would do that just to make sure that it's registered. And then also, if you haven't already, make sure you watch this guide video I made. One of my better performing videos on the PRYZM airdrop. It was actually pushed by PRYZM because I explained how their airdrop worked and also some of the analytics, which you can see here for Cosmos. So if you type in, by the way, links to all this description, you type in your wallet address, it tells you sort of how much Atom you make, but also how much PRYZM you make. Now, keep in mind, you scroll down here and it just calculates this for you. Don't forget, I've gotten rid of my Atom, which is why this number is so much smaller. But you can see here that I was earning almost like 1 PRYZM token a week. And for those of you who will compare this to Black Panther and say, wow, it's not really worth that much, remember, it's about opportunity cost, and you are going to validate these tokens anyways. If the commission fees are exactly the same, you are not paying anything extra. In fact, PRYZM is giving you a rebate because they use your fees to them to basically identify how much PRYZM you get back, because that's all they calculate it from. So unless you're paying more for PRYZM validator fees, which I believe is only on Injective, if memory serves me right, then it's a no-brain decision. So that's sort of my thoughts here. The next one, and by the way, I know you guys have some questions. We'll make sure we capture that in the AMA today. I have a little longer. I want to make sure we get through these things. So Layer Zero has an update. I think this is a very important one. It was making the rounds within our private group, the Web3 Secret Society. They have basically integrated clusters into their platform. And when Layer Zero makes a move like this, one that's so aligned with their permissionless interoperability, right? Because basically what clusters does is it takes a bunch of wallets and puts them into a cluster. So I went in and I actually went and registered my own cluster as a result of this announcement, because typically now that Layer Zero is supporting it, well, what that means is this might end up being a criteria for us. Also, I wanted to get my name before, somebody else got it and I had to buy it from them or something, So you go in here and you have to go to the bottom. You click on bid on a cluster. You pick in how many years you want, etc. You type it in, bid on number of names, do whatever. I bid 0.01 ETH, and then I got it after like maybe 20 minutes. And in this, you can actually go in, you can add your Twitter profile photo in here. And by the way, one thing I will say to this is, some people may not like this because you want to be anonymous. So if you don't feel like adding your Twitter to it, so be it. What's really cool is you can add like your EVM, your TIA, your Solana. You can add all your wallet addresses in this and sort of check it out. Oh, that reminds me. Maybe I'll put this link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. But I do think this is a really good service. The next thing I want to bring up, and I brought this up a few days ago when it first got announced, Layer 3 is doing an airdrop program. Please go in here, click on search. When you click on search, you'll see all of these things. Select only show cubes, and you can actually click on hide completed. What you want to do is complete as many of these as possible, because this will qualify you for their upcoming airdrop. This is not a testnet. This is on-chain activity on the various chains that are basically on here. So get started on it, because there's a ton of them. I believe there's over about 100. So if you can do it, I think it's very much worth your time. The next thing I want to talk about, I've had some questions about Eclipse, is around exactly what's going on here. And you probably heard Christian Peter talk about it a bit. It was something he rated as a top tier airdrop. And it makes sense, right? It aligns with the narrative for Solana. And the SVM is going to be probably even better than the EVM. So you're probably wondering, what do you do right now? Well, if you go in their Discord, they have a testnet campaign through their GitHub. But let's just be honest here. Like, I don't think the testnets drive as much value to the individual user than other things. So what else can you do? Well, I think one of the best things you can do is find out who supports them, what they're built on, and make sure you have that covered. So if we scroll down here, it's a layer 2 built for the future, right? What is it backed by? Great. So we know they got some great VCs. They're going to tokenize as a result. Strong support from ecosystems. And we see the top one here is Celestia. So please, I told you guys before, make sure you have a good Celestia position, because I think this is going to be substantial. Also, Eigenlayer. So just like with AltLayer, I would not be surprised when they do tokenize that they look at how many Eigenlayer points somebody has, and that could also be a different gate for their airdrop. Maybe activity on Solana will be measured as well. I'm not really sure what risk 0 is, but these are the things you guys should be looking at. And I show you this not just because it's Eclipse, but think about this whenever you're looking at any new protocol that's exciting. So that is what I would do. And I'm not really sure what Worldview says. You guys staking are ruining the industry. Listen, you've got like, I wouldn't stake if I didn't have to. But the reality is, if I don't stake, other people are going to do it. So I'm going to do it knowing full well that I'm going to make maximum dollars on it. That's just the reality of it. And be foolish to think otherwise. So if you haven't already, please watch this video. This changes everything for IBC airdrops. I talk about why I'm so I pivoted so heavily into Celestia and Dimension, and it has paid off. Like, Atom has once again stayed stagnant for the most part. Dimension has gone up as more news on airdrops have been coming out, and I expect this to only continue. So take a watch of that video if you haven't already. The next thing I want to mention here is Zera. So Zera is another protocol that people are farming. Once again, we don't put too much weight into all of these random, I don't want to say random actually, but it's another Ethereum L2, much more NFT based. In fact, I have an NFT that I'm going to talk to you about in a second, but this apparently is the official NFT by Zera. Go on here, mint it using the base chain. And, apparently, Airdrop Adventure, who does a lot of good alpha, says this is a good thing to have in your collection. So go ahead and mint it if you haven't already. Make sure you do it on base chain, okay? The next thing here is Jumper Exchange. So Jumper Exchange is one of those airdrops that we're looking to align ourselves very favorably with. You can actually go on their website and you can click over here and you click on Jumper Profile, and it'll show you how much XP you have. And basically through this, you can see what missions you've already completed, and basically align yourself to sort of get more XP as well. So this link right here for available missions is not really working right now, but definitely make sure you check it out. The next update I want to give you guys is on Parcel. So Parcel had a really big update on their points. As you know, this is something that we are farming heavily, or at least I am farming heavily in Solana, right? We have Parcel wrapping up. We have Camino wrapping up as well. And basically they announced their full tokenomics. In that, they said that 7.5% is going to be given to Parcel holders. Points are still accruing via season 3. They haven't done the snapshot yet. They talked about sort of core community and even the homeowners association NFT holders getting something, and basically some NFT collections that are also getting it. So very interesting. I think this is going to be a good airdrop. And I'll be honest with you guys, look, what's surprising to me is no matter what work I have done, I have to say the referrals have really driven up my point allocation here. And they did so much that I was able to pivot most of my capital off here and into community finance. So I definitely want to give back, because like literally, like look at this, like about 75% or even more of my points are driven by referrals from this channel. So to sort of give back, what I'm going to do is I have created a new mint. I just created this before the video went live. I am giving away 50% of whatever my parcel airdrop is, whether it's $100,000 or $10. I'm giving away 50%. So I have a free mint available on Zera. I mean, this is sort of two birds with one stone. Instead of minting, you know, random garbage, you can mint this one, get your transaction, whatever in here, and also make yourself eligible. There will be 5 winners. So basically, each person will get 10%. Whatever that figure is. And what's really cool about Zera and why I want to use it here is I can actually go on here and find out, like, you know, I can airdrop, you know, the amounts or whatever, right? So enter list of addresses, etc. So this is for this, but I can get the list of those who minted, and from that, airdrop whatever the figure is. And by the way, the way I'm going to do this, just to make this very clear, I am going to take my own time to sell that token, right? And when I do sell that token, that's how I'm going to distribute. Okay. So I just want to make that very clear. I don't want to get to the nitty gritty of like those people asking me on, oh, can you sell it here? Oh, wait, can you hold this a little bit? I don't want to do that. By participating in this, you're okay with me sort of sending that. Short sleeve when airdrop is next Wednesday. So make sure you check that out. And for decoded PRYZM airdrop, I'm not sure. It's coming. Just sort of be patient. Remember, this is literally something that you're getting on the side for free. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. A ton of updates. Now, in the next few minutes, we're going to switch over to talking about some of the latest news coming out of protocols, how we pivot, not even that actually, but how we pivot is important, but also the consequences and how the fallout looks like for some of these campaigns. So with that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone that you know. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.